Juggernaut, the Sydney Swans, who've not just won 13 of their past 14 games, but are at full strength with the competition's superstar Lance Franklin in the best form of his career. Fantastic to have your company for the Saturday night match of the round as we welcome 8 premierships between them. Mark Rasciuto, Cameron Mooney, and your host, Jason Dunstall.
Thanks, Dwayne. Well, we say it every time we're here. Incredible atmosphere, a full house, perhaps even a record crowd. Who knows? We know where Sydney's at. Their form has been absolutely supreme. What we don't know, Mark Rasciuto, is where exactly Port Adelaide. Where are they at?
Where are they? They're nowhere near where they want to be, Jace, but hopefully they're on the way up. They've been pretty ordinary for about 7 weeks now. In fact, when they got beaten by Sydney last time, but they should start to improve, I think, Cam.
Well, look at their last 5 weeks. They only got the one win. That was against Melbourne. They only just got over the line. But saying that, their wins have all been under 10 points, so they haven't been that far away. Their confidence have gone down a little bit. Can they switch it on tonight?
So full strength Sydney, as you mentioned. There is one late change. Nick Smith is out. Jeremy Laidler comes in. But Lance Franklin is back in the lineup, and he has been in supreme form. 50 goals to date. He'll be looking to add to that as the race for the Coleman medal intensifies. They've also brought back one of their best runners in Dan Hanbury, and great to see him back in the lineup.
Oh, he's a superstar as well. So, as you said, Nick Smith's the only player out of their best side, but Hanbury gives them some more depth in the midfield. Buddy loved Adelaide Oval when he was here earlier in the year, so they're chock-a-block ready to go.
Well, it was this game, wasn't it, up at their CG where Hanbury did his ankle. So he's been a long time out. He's got a nice little run of 4 weeks now to try and get some match fitness going into the finals.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many headaches for John Longmire at the moment. He's got virtually a full-strength list, and the crowd's been waiting for this to see the Port Adelaide boys come out onto the ground. It is absolutely deafening down here at ground level. As we said, they've only won one of the last 5. They've got a 12-6 record, sitting in 5th spot, and that only win in the last 5 weeks, a 3-point steal against the D's. But we are going to find out a lot about this mob tonight.
Absolutely. This might be the thing that can spark them into form. 50,000 people. They've got Pittard and Jonas playing 50 games. They know they've got to snap out of their slump at the moment. Top 4 could be out of the question if they don't win tonight.
When you look at Sydney as well, you look at this side of things, top 4 hasn't been settled yet. They need to win just as badly as Port do, Sydney. Percentage-wise as well, we saw Hawthorn tonight get a great win. Their percentage has gone up. We'll see another game tonight with Geelong and Fremantle. So we're not sure exactly how the top 4 is going to sit just yet. So a big important game for Sydney as well.
Oh, drums and speakers and fireworks, all sorts of things that are going off. We've also got the coach of Port Adelaide, Ken Higley, with us. Thanks for your time, Ken.
No worries, Jace.
Now, let's forget about the physical side of things. Everyone's been talking about the run or lack thereof. Tell me what the last 5 weeks has done to your players psychologically. Do they still believe they can go all the way this year?
Yeah, we do. We've got no problems that we've got our belief, but, you know, we've been pushed a little bit in the last few weeks. It's a really good feeling tonight. I just hope the boys come out and play with their freedom that they need to play with to play the game we need to play.
Kenny, have you seen any signs of a revival in their legs at training and throughout the week? Because they have been flat, but you can push out of it.
Yeah, it's a risk to say I have, but I think I have. But I'm looking forward to seeing it, Drew. I'd like to see it first up. I'd really like to see it in the first 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep.
Kenny, I'm interested to see who Kane Corns is going to go to tonight. They've got this magnificent midfield, as we know, big, strong bodies. We know you've got this nice and up-and-coming midfield, but who does Corns get tonight?
He'll take Hanbury. There's no problems. We're not frightened about saying that. We rate Hanbury. We know he's a great player. Kane's done some great jobs on him. He'll start on the pine, Hanbury, and we'll wait for him, and then Kane will go.
Ken, love your honesty. Appreciate your time. Good luck tonight, mate.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Kenny. Good luck, mate.
So, Dwayne, Port Adelaide all set to go, but it is one of the ultimate challenges in the game, taking on one of the competition heavyweights in the Sydney Swans.
Absolutely. As we look at the Port Adelaide lineup, they've got some big ins as well, though. Jackson Pringo back from his ankle surgery, so that's huge for them. Jake Need also back into the lineup, and Kane Mitchell gets his chance again in the senior squad. Tom Jonas and Jasper Pittard, their 50th for the Swans. As you mentioned, Dan Hanbury's back, Lance Franklin's back, and Nick Smith, a late out Jeremy Laidler, is in, and Jake Lloyd will start as the sub. But the last time these teams met, the result came down to one man.
Such is this man's immense talent and skill. In a heartbeat, he can have 2 on the board. And look at that, the Swans.
He's hunting them down, he's using his speed.
That's why they pay the big bucks. And the bucks are big, and so is that goal. Now they're charging the other way.
Look at it.
And it's Franklin again.
Open goal
He
square.
might try for a 70-metre goal. He really would be worth all the money they're paying him. Give him a longer contract.
You can't do that.
He's hotter than hot, Buddy. Buddy's still going. He's unstoppable. The siren sounds. Cyclone Buddy hit the SCG in the second half, and he got them over the line with 5 goals.
Two months ago, Port Adelaide was top of the AFL ladder. They've won 10 of their first 11 games, and they were 2 games clear on top. Everyone was firing. Robbie Gray was in all-Australian form. Justin Westhoff, Chad Wingard, Brad Ebert, Jared Polak, Hamish Hartlett, Ollie Wines and co. They were having the year of their dreams. But 5 losses from their past 7 have dropped Port from 1st to 5th. Tonight is the acid test. The best team in the competition right now, the Sydney Swans, with a full-strength lineup led by the best player in the competition, Lance Franklin, are in town. Can Port Adelaide's season be brought back from the dead? Full house here at the Adelaide Oval. Travis Boak, the leader of this club. The man is president. David Koch said will become one of the greatest leaders ever of the Port Adelaide Football Club. And he tosses the coin with Jared McVeigh. This is a massive night, not a spare seat in the house as we welcome back Cameron Mooney.
Thank you very much, Dwayne. Look, you talk about these midfield guys and Boki. We just saw him running off there. It's such a massive night for them because we know they need to at least break even through the midfield because we see Trent Gove and Carlisle. They need a lot of help tonight. We talk about the billionaires. We see Tippett. We see Buddy. We know they're going to get some good use tonight. They need to break even through the midfield to give these guys a chop out. We've seen them all year so far running into defence, helping out, and then running back down, going coast to coast. They need that desperately tonight. Otherwise, they're leaving these guys one-on-one with these 2 stars up the forward line for Sydney. They're in for a world of hurt tonight, I think, boys.
Never tear us apart rings around the Adelaide Oval, the Port Adelaide tradition. The scarves up, Liverpool style. Lance Franklin back into the lineup this week.
Interesting, and they're starting with Jackson Trengove forward. So they're loading up the forward line, Port Adelaide. Schultz, Westhoff, Trengove, 3 tools will all start forward. You've got Gray, you've got Monfries, you've got Jake Need there as well. So a very aggressive front 6 to kick off the game.
Hard to come back from those ankle injuries as well, boys. If you come back early, it can feel like you're playing with a bit of a wooden leg. So it'll be interesting to see how Trengove goes tonight.
That's the matchup that is huge. Alapate Carlisle had Lance Franklin in round 13. So that's not the matchup.
So Jack Holmes gets him.
Big change from Ken Hinkley, and we're underway. Saturday night match of the round. Lobe up against Pike in the ruck. McVeigh in hard. 2 captains in hard. And we'll get another ball up to a massive roar.
Broadbent loose for Port Adelaide. Plays that position as good as anyone back there.
Lobe works his way to the front. Corns, Ebert, who had 40 possessions against the Swans. Round 13, his biggest number of the year. Grundy to Malcheski. One of the Brownlow favourites, Kennedy.
Well, it's an interesting one, Josh Kennedy-Rue. We spoke about it. We got the honesty from Ken Hinkley saying that Corns will run with Hanbury, but who's going to stop Josh Kennedy doing what he does?
Well, maybe no one, if that's the case, which just is amazing, really, isn't it? Because he's so good in tight.
Good hands from Reid. Heads to Tippett. In a pocket that could have been his had he stayed. Homsch feeds it back dangerously. Hartlett turnover. And that's massive. McGlynn.
I find that amazing that you tag Hanbury if he's been out for that long. I really do. Like coming back from an injury and being out for 6 or so weeks, you know, it's less than 50% chance he's going to have a belter first up anyway. So why wouldn't you go for a proven performer? Someone in form.
It's a really strange kick out of the defensive 50, wasn't it?
Ben McGlynn, one of the Swans who doesn't have a premiership yet. And it's across the face.
Looked a good kick off the boot, just faded a little left to right, so they'll need to get used to it. There didn't appear to be a lot of breeze out there, but a good let-off for Port Adelaide. What it was, though, that kick, even though it was a poor one, it signalled their intent to take the game on.
Hey guys, the game's obviously just a minute and a half old, and already Travis Boak has come off and already in the hands talking to the doctors down here.
Okay, so it might have been that tackle that he laid in the middle on McVeigh.
Was someone on in the middle.
Shorter bird. Richards pumps it long. Reid has already taken one, beaten for it this time by O'Shea.
Well, that's not the kick John Longmire's looking for going into the attacking 50. They had numbers, they just rushed it, ended up being in the wrong hands. Ted Richards, a hurried kick forward to the advantage of Port Adelaide's defence.
Pollock was working back towards his best form last week. Moore. Hartlett. 4-goal performance last week with his best numbers of his career to Schultz.
There's a crowd here just waiting to ignite, Dwayne. All the Port players need to do is give them something to get up and running about.
Carlisle. Tippett's going to get there. Makes a contest. Good one-on-one. Carlisle slaps it out. Broadbent helps him out. Rolls it. O'Shea. Carlisle takes it on down the middle. Corns. Hartlett. Well, I mentioned his week last week. He almost single-handedly got Port Adelaide over the line with that career-best 4-goal performance.
Yeah, 3 of them came in the third quarter. What we do know is distance won't be an issue for him here, and it's purely and simply the accuracy. He's a booming kick.
Just needs to back up that performance last week. It was a brilliant one. Just needs to get the consistency in his game, Hamish. He's a star and a potential match winner, and this will be a ripper of a start.
From the 50. Doesn't strike it well. Doesn't have the carry. Need back in the lineup. And he misses.
Oh, gee, he dummied 2 blokes in the space of a metre.
Well, he come on the scene last year and was fantastic. Hasn't been able to get in to the side much this year as well, but got best on ground in the State League last week. So good to see him back in the team.
Just his 2nd game of the year, Jake Need. Ball to the back. Jonas got there. Handball untidy. Pollock gets there to make it look okay. Moore, he's got the free handball option. Hartlett again. Westhoff calling for it. It's wide in Need's direction. Gray, Need, Laidler, the late inclusion.
It's one place you don't want to kick it is in the air to Jake Need one out against the taller opponent.
Rampy corrals.
Good pressure from Port Adelaide.
Grundy toward Goods. Manhandled it a little by Jonas. Ebert.
Actually look up and about Port Adelaide. They look like they might have their spark back a little bit.
Corns is playing again next year. Already sorted that out. 300th game on offer for him next year. O'Shea heads wide.
And this doesn't hurt their confidence either. Just keeping possession, hitting a few targets.
Jonas about to send it long. Heads to the pocket. Trengo flies. Rampy the crumb. Shaw. Robbie Gray wrapped him up. Umpire said it was okay. The handball wasn't deliberately out as 50,000 were calling for.
Yeah, you called it earlier, boys. The pressure is there from Port Adelaide. This is a good start. They need a goal now just to get some icing on the cake.
Trengo ripped it out of the air. Kennedy just got it out. Laidler, Richards, relieving kick to Franklin. Some boos. Here was the difference when these two teams met round 13. And almost the pluck from Moore, dropped it in the end. It's the deck. Corns.
Just about holding
Hartlett. Umpire says he'll ball it up.
Canterbury's come on and Corns has gone to him exactly how Ken Hinkley said it would.
Kennedy gives to Parker. Tippett, half wrap. Broadbent made it a 2-on-1. Fantastic commitment. Ball bounced unkindly for Carlisle, who couldn't rush it. Broadbent, clever, winds. Play on, not 15. And he played on outside the boundary, ball in.
Hey boys, interesting move with Jackson Trengo starting forward. He didn't start back as we all thought that he would. Homsch is the one that's picking up Buddy and Tippett along with Carlisle. So interesting move that they thought they could probably try and stretch the Sydney's defence.
Hartlett, Wingard, he dropped that as he was tackled. Oh, lucky.
Very lucky. And Jonas has got the job on Goods as well in his 50th game.
Yeah, 50th game for him. No need to tell you. Adam Goods, 345 of them. And playing next year as well, Adam Goods, we understand. Westhoff on crutches 2 days ago, Justin Westhoff. To O'Shea, to Mitchell. Back into the lineup this week. Monfrey's working hard for Mitchell. He sits it on him. Rowan with the fist. Ball to the back. Fantastic atmosphere. Finals-like atmosphere. And these two teams could even meet in a final. Port Adelaide win today. They'll be back inside the top 4 depending on other results.
Well, that loss in Sydney for Port way back in round 13, they didn't lose any admirers that day. Buddy was on fire in Sydney, and Sydney's always a tough day, so it wasn't a bad performance, that one.
Moore scrambles a kick forward. Shorts got there. Intent to take it out. There is Laidler on screen. Nick Smith, the late out for Sydney.
1 metre, left shadow, 1 metre. On, separate.
2 ruckmen against 1. Ebert scrambles a kick, but it's wide and it's on the thought.
That's it, right there. I'll hang us there.
Had plenty of the ball, Port Adelaide, 39 disposals to 24. Just love to convert a goal early in this quarter.
Reid doesn't get the run at it, and his man gets it in the end. O'Shea, the Pollock. Dangerous. Kennedy wrapped up by O'Shea. McVeigh. Harker. Franklin to the middle. Poke pass to the back of McGlynn. Corns read it well. And he's away in space. Looking for a pass option. Goes in the Monfrey's direction. Now Chesky got there first. Monfrey's second effort good. Boak, Hanbury both dive in. Hanbury jumped on, ridden, settled. Unlucky. Hanbury back in, of course. We've mentioned a few times. Ankle syndesmosis, the problem for him. Bird. Missed Jetta. Omsch. Gray. Jonas. Tringo. Good fly and almost pulled it in. Mitchell and Bird. Boat. Arms free. Shorts. They kept that alive. High kick. Off hands. Westhoff. Just didn't quite have the turn circle and didn't quite have the tackle technique either. Jack free.
Was that in the back, Jace?
It looked like he pushed him in the side when he went to ground, maybe a little stiff. But I like the intensity and the intent of Port's pressure, not giving Sydney time to control the footy.
It's been a good 10 minutes of play, given that we've had 2 behinds. Is that Jonas? Battle again. He got the fist in. Broadbent. Or Lobe. Spent that before he'd earned it. Tries to mop up his mess, made it worse. Hanbury. Good. Sidestep was splendid. Cunningham, who can kick a long goal, looks up, aims from 48 and nails it. Good goal.
How often does that happen, Jace? They were just holding on there, Sydney.
Yeah.
They were quite controlled about the way Port were moving the ball around. Let's have a look at Lobe there. Just a costly fumble. That'll be the first of a few tonight in terms of goals from turnovers.
I'm glad he kicked it, because if you look to the right of screen, you might just see Reece Shaw coming into picture, all on his own in the corridor, screaming for a square-up ball. So I'm glad he kicked it. He would have been most upset.
Well, Jace, you could actually see his eyes dart, to the left, and he saw Shaw, but you love a man who can back himself in, don't you?
Absolutely.
He is a goal kicker, and Robbie Gray has won 2. Takes the clearance, not a good delivery. Need dragged down off the ball. Gets the free kick.
And dare I say, that was needless.
Like it.
Absolutely needless. They had a 1-on-2. He was out of position. The kick was going over the top. And Dane Rampy just got caught up. There wasn't much in it.
Yeah.
He certainly made the most of it, Jake Need, but didn't need to do anything at all.
He almost fell over there, Rampy, didn't he?
He played a ripper game against the Sydney Swans last year, Jake Need. Got a NAB Rising Star nomination for his game. Back in against them and on cue delivers.
Well, they deserve that, Port Adelaide. They've been up and about. They've been sharper than they've looked for a while, and their pressure that they've been putting on today's been fantastic. Cam O'Shea getting a bit of ball. Robbie Gray putting the pressure on. Monfries looks like he's got a defensive role on Malcheski tonight to try and minimise his influence across half-back. Kenny Hinkley will be very happy they got that goal. They'd had plenty of the ball. Doesn't mind flaring up the old horse, does he?
Fantastic pictures. Back in the middle, fantastic game. Lobe palm down, missed his target and he missed it. McVeigh feeds it back. Jack the clearance. Port with the spare man. Broadbent delivers wide. O'Shea's running hard. Parker, O'Shea. Good hands. Called to go. Schultz. And clever punch, Richards.
I reckon those players are struggling to hear the umpires out there. They're calling play on, and not sure who was on the mark, but didn't even go forward. So it is very loud out on the oval here in Adelaide.
Let's hope Ray Chamberlain can hear the siren when it sounds. Ball back into play. Lobe with the flick back. Wine's got it to Boak. O'Shea. Jonas. No one really home. Monfries came from 3 deep. Ball knocked down. Wingard manhandled. Almost a free. Little untidy Rowan. Got away with it. Bird scoops a handball Malcheski's direction. Wobbles one towards the boundary. Good option. Race on. Goods and Jonas.
Guys, this is a really interesting setup. Just look at the free here to Wingard that he wasn't paid. But the really interesting setup down there at the moment, they've only got one guy in Schultz who's over 190 centimetres in that starting six down there. So the long kick in won't work for them if they're going to keep doing that.
Ebert flicks it up. Hartman took control. Gave to Gray. Clever. Corns not quite. He was wrapped up by Berg. Good attack from Schultz. Dumped into the deck by Kennedy. Umpire Ray Chamberlain asks for the ball. Your umpires tonight, Lee Fisher, Brett Roseberry and Ray. Tringo the ruck work. Jack with the handball to Hanbury. Rowan, Bird, Kennedy bumped on the kick. Not 15. Play on to their disadvantage. Westhoff. Floats one. More.
Dangerous.
Straight past him. Grundy. Goods. Cunningham, who made them pay last time they had an ugly turnover. Heads in the Franklin direction. Oh, good fist.
That's a super spoil because Franklin had tried to push him under the ball, but he held front position. He attacked the pill. Really good initial win for Jack Holmes. That'll give him good confidence.
Might not have a big name outside of Adelaide, Jack Holmes, but he is a real up-and-coming defender.
They're having an outstanding year. Been a good pick-up, and Port Adelaide, one of those teams at the top end of the ladder because they have drafted well. Wines, one of their great draftees. Bird wrapped up, dragged down. Ebert, ugly kick. Jetta, burned a couple of teammates, gives to Grundy, flicks it wide to Shaw, just out of his reach.
Kick.
Short was perfect. He's already had a side of McGlynn, but from the other half-forward flank.
Good eyes by Shaw. Could have bombed at the top of the square. Just found McGlynn.
That's what he has for the lead back. And this one's across the face. Dragged through for a behind. Broadbent. Skins it wide, but he did play on from fullback, so that's okay. It rolled out without being touched after he played onto himself. It's been a sellout for a while, this game, for a couple of weeks. Sydney Swans still a chance to finish the minor premiers. Port Adelaide still a chance for top 4 or even top 2 if they can win tonight. High free fend off. Monfries. Schultz is forward, doesn't get to him.
Oh, Westhoff could be on here, boys.
Need looks up, just pokes that, and Wingard's got it.
Go back and kick the goal. Few options leading, but it's virtually directly in front, 30 metres out. These are your bread and butter shots. They've got to make the most of their opportunities. Got to get their confidence up and put scoreboard pressure on Sydney. When they get these opportunities, you've got to take them.
Jakey Need just getting a standing ovation as he's running off here, guys. Not too bad, but look, I love the move of Jackson Trengove down forward, Jace. I just think it's really stretching the Sydney's defence.
I think what they'll do too, Moons, is use him in the ruck a bit more tonight and try and give Lovey a bit of a spell.
For the first time tonight, Port Adelaide in front.
Jace, you talked about scoreboard pressure. It is absolutely critical. Sydney missed a couple of set shots by Ben McGlynn. Port Adelaide, on the other hand, kicking their goals at the moment. That's the best pressure to put on the opposition, is scoreboard pressure. I think he was probably going to Westhoff there, but Wingard in the right spot, and he needs a big game too. He's been one of a number of players who've been down over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Roo, won't be All-Australian this year after All-Australian and Port's best and fairest last year in just his second season. He can still finish it hard. Ebert outside of the boot, broke. But he waited for Westhoff, not the greatest option. Westhoff was coming the wrong way. Corn's got it from Ebert.
Good vision.
Mitchell. He wanted to send it long. Boak does send it long. Schultz is down there with Laidler. Bumped out of it. Richards content to see that over his head.
Saw Westhoff slip there when he was trying to turn around. There was already a little bit of dew out in the grass when we were down there pre-game, so expect to see a bit more of that, or maybe even some ball handling issues.
But it is a good night for football. And a good night for atmosphere. Again, two ruckmen go at it. Gray winds. It's bending, but not enough.
How good was that in tight by Robbie Gray? Wines needed to do better with the kick.
And Robbie Gray will be All-Australian this year. Malcheski. Jetta read that nicely.
Looks like Brad Ebert and Josh Kennedy running together. That's going to be an interesting battle.
Cunningham. McVeigh. Bird has some space. There's Kennedy.
Yeah, that's pulled by Pollock. He handed over. Ebert had to go to McVeigh. He had to pick up Kennedy.
Reid, Carlisle, both went at it. Splendid tackle by Holmes.
That was a hard hit.
Hasn't done much wrong, Jack Holmes, has he?
He's a ripper. Actually got him from GWS. He was a former Adelaide boy. Traded him back.
Jack Franklin on the left. Well, that's how he started when these two teams met in round 13. He didn't kick a goal in the first half. Finished with 5 and was the hero.
Yeah, he starts that way most weeks, but it doesn't stop him.
And as much as you'd think 50,000 odd here tonight have come to see Port, Franklin does pull them through the gates as well. Best player in the competition. Hope you're enjoying watching this one. Richards. Wingard.
Is that because Ablett's out, Dwayne, or you think he's the best anyway?
Well, I think bang for buck, he might just about be the best. I know he's not going to win the Brownlow, and well, he might.
He might.
Yeah.
Is he in as good a form as 08, Jace? I know he kicked 100 in 08.
A different sort of year. He's playing consistently well, though.
It hurts him to say that, though, Rude. Let's give him a break.
Not at all.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, Jace. Jack back to the hot spot. McVeigh set himself. Good fist. McGlynn sprays it a little. Pay the mark, the umpire said. Hobbs takes the mark.
He's starring at the moment.
Monfries.
Kick was good too.
Now they run. Boak short. Got there. Under immense pressure. Good pressure. Rampy pressure. Tringo. Hands not quite there. But a lucky free.
Yeah, you need to mark those. Get the hands to him.
He's been out for a month.
Don't underestimate his leadership qualities as well, boys. He's a ripper.
Didn't quite get onto that kick, and Grundy takes the mark. Adelaide boy back home, of course, from Norwood. Didn't get picked up in the draft initially after great form as a junior in South Australian state teams. And he was a concreter here in SA. The Swans plucked him from obscurity. Lobey. Back towards Tringo.
Got Westhoff running around on his own at the moment.
Yep.
Hasn't got a match-up. I'll be kicking it to him now. Rowan goes to him.
Here's Westhoff. They're all coming at him. Got hands to it. Kennedy and Monfries see it out.
I think anytime you see someone like Justin Westhoff in a one-on-one matchup, you kick it to him, particularly if he hasn't got a key defender on him. He's got such a great reach. You want to isolate him as much as possible.
Lobey from behind. Kennedy, McGlynn, Jack, pushing the back, not advantage.
Gee, they're hot on that rule, aren't they, this year? Feels like they're paying them more than ever. Over there.
Thank you.
McGlynn to Malcheski.
Oh, there he goes.
Having a good year as well. Turns 30 years of age this week. Swans want to sign him up quick. Heads wide. Pike couldn't get there. Made a contest though. Helped it come to ground.
Chewy ball.
Kennedy, gang tackle. Somehow to Cunningham. Goods, who hasn't lost his speed despite his age. Nice little shimmy. Jetta. Reed had the support. Cunningham finds Bird. Tucked into the pocket. McGlynn won't miss this one.
He covers ground, Benny McGlynn. He just stole into a little pocket of space.
Oh, he does. Handball it over the top. Is it allowed? It's not allowed.
It's going to go back behind the mark, which is a let off for Port Adelaide because they were caught napping. How you leave Jared McVeigh in the square on his own is beyond me.
Bit of angle here, Dwayne.
Yeah. Had 2 shots for 2 misses. He needs a nerd settler. And he gets it.
He's one of the most improved players in the comp, isn't he, Benny McGlynn?
Just works hard every week.
He's tough at it.
6 possessions, 1 goal, 1.
Both McGlynn and McVeigh here were pushing forward in gettable positions. There's McVeigh there, and Benny McGlynn was a bit inside. Bokey throwing his hands up. Can't cover 2.
Out of the circle, please. Out of the circle.
It was a win-win trade, really. Hawks, in the end, got Ben Stratton and Matt Suckling with the draft picks they received for him. Back in the middle. All square again. McGlynn gets there first. Wins the clearance. Again, Paul with the extra man back. Broadbent kept it in front nicely. Corns. Carlisle on the overlap. Runs hard, gets there. Monfries.
Westhoff working really hard for him.
Ankle looks okay at the moment. Rolled it at training. That's why he was on crutches 2 days ago. If you're not from here, where he was front page, back page, everywhere news. Corns. Trenko bumped. Free kick against Laidler.
This is the matchup, I think, guys, I need to exploit. He's got so much height on Laidler here. He's got a lot of body strength as well. Jackson, as we just see there, is a really poor decision there from Laidler to go with his body. This is the matchup I want to see them try and exploit.
For the lead back. Strikes it thin. Misses to the near side. You mentioned he's a leader. He has also re-signed. That it was his initial re-signing that helped start Port Adelaide's resurrection a few years back. He's staying as well. Bird wrapped up by Jonas. He might have a shot from there. Thinking about it. He's backtracking. Has kicked 1 goal. That's for the year and for his career. 50th game tonight. Comes in from the gutter. Starts on the boundary. Gives it a run. Kept in play. More on hands and knees. Tries to keep it alive. Won't let it roll out initially. 1 minute left. Outstanding contest. An amazing atmosphere. Listen to the roar. Pike got the hand down. Boak almost ran away with it. Hartland. Crutch.
See, that looked high, didn't it?
Well, you know what? I think Hartland just said, I'm having a crack at this.
Well, he does.
And hopefully I'll get a free kick. But one wasn't paid. But he did all he could, just attack the footy. No way through, though.
Oh, ducked as well, Schultz.
They're not paying the head high ones, are they? They're paying in the back, but they're not paying the ones where you go in with your head down, and that's been quite clear all year, but as long as they're consistent.
Thump down to McGlynn. Clearing kick. Broadbent stands under it. Tippett made him earn it. Didn't mark it. Good hassling. Franklin gets it up. Kennedy got a handball away eventually. Down to 25 seconds. Tippett took an eternity. Might be play on advantage here. It'll come back.
Tippett's the only player on the ground that hasn't had a possession.
Corns. Schultz came hard. Nearly high again. O'Shea down to 14 seconds. Scramble. Kennedy just gets it up. Laidler. McLean. Shaw. 5 seconds. Franklin, he can almost kick it from there. 3, 2, siren about to sound. Jack. It's living up to expectations. Massive game. Second on the ladder versus 5th on the ladder. Quarter time. Port Adelaide by a point. Well, the full house here at Adelaide Oval getting what they came for. Hard, intense, finals-like contest between two contenders. This is the best team in the competition to round 13 up against the best team in the competition right now. Port Adelaide was the best team until it lost to Sydney at the SCG in round 13 this year in a thriller. 2-3-15 to 2-2-14. Jason Dunstall, Mark Rashido, we're enjoying ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. A very exciting start to a much anticipated match. I think it's as good as I've seen Port Adelaide play for quite some time. The question is, can they maintain this intensity for 4 quarters, Roo?
Yeah, I think they can at the moment. They certainly started well, so just got to back it up now, Moons.
Yeah, thanks for Nixie. Look, fantastic start to the game. It was great to watch. What's the main message there from Kenny?
Oh, look, we wanted to come out and match them in the first quarter. They're a fantastic side, especially first quarters. We said contested possession at quarter times around the mark or even, then we'll go from there. So we got that done.
Your boys down back, I thought, had an exceptional quarter, especially Homch.
Yeah, we love Homshy. He's a ripping kid. The character comes out in the way he plays. You know, just goes in, puts his head over it and has a crack.
All right, mate, good luck. Thanks very much.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
They'd be reasonably happy with some of their performance indicators, and we've got a few in comparison.
Yep. Yeah, and the big one there is contested possession. They were the second best in the competition up to round 13. Then they've gone to 17th best over the last 5 weeks. Tonight, they're beating Sydney, who are one of the best at it, by 6 1/4. That's a fantastic one. Even in clearances, even in inside 50s. Scores from turnovers, not so bad either, but the contested possession's the one. That you need to be sharp for that. You need to crack in. Port are doing that well. It's quite obvious that they're back tonight. They've done it for a quarter. Now they're going to do it for another one now. Tringo hasn't gone forward. Oh, yeah, he's gone forward again.
Second term underway. Lobe and Pike knocked down Jack's direction to Goods. Gets the clearance. Wide ball. Jetta Had the speed, got there, nice collect. Pumps it wide. Franklin's down there, 2 to beat. Almost beat them both. Flick to the back. Tippett. Pollock tries to steal it from him. Jump ball.
Thank you, Jared.
Got to get himself in the game, Kurt Tippett, yet to touch the ball or yet to have a disposal.
Lobe against Reed in the ruck. Goods. Steals, goes. No one comes at him. Feeds it to the corridor. Laidler drifts down through Jack's hands. McVeigh had a little piece of it. Adam Goods didn't want to go for goal himself to Jetta. Ebert just got a fingernail in there and out of play.
Brad Ebert there doing the intercepting there. He's had 9 disposals in the first quarter. He's up against Josh Kennedy, who's had 10 in the first quarter and 11 for the game. So looks like they're both in for a big night.
Reed down, Poke. Half a handball out. Ebert, clever handball. Wines, Pollock. Scrambles a kick, Richards. Shaw. Reed's about to jump. Lobe got front spot. Tippett gets his first possession and it won't count.
Use Sam Reed to do the ruck work too now. They want to just keep Kurt Tippett away from anywhere where he can really hurt himself with that knee tendonitis, so they're looking after him.
Hartland.
Move it on. Thank you.
Lobe's the go-to man again. Jumps in the middle of the pack. Trengove the crumb nicely. Ebert. Shaw should get there first. Swans have the numbers around it.
He's got to chase his own kick, Ebert. It's a bit hard, isn't it?
Did okay. Put some pressure on the Shaw kick, and he's touched. They've got the numbers, as I mentioned. Richards reads his target and got hands to it, just couldn't bring it in. Boak. O'Shea did well, second effort just as good. Franklin, outstanding tackle, no prior, ball up.
Yeah, Jared Pollock sold him up the river with the hand pass.
Didn't he?
Had nowhere to go, Travis Boak.
Wines, clever. Corns. Richards. Sydney Swans. Big couple of weeks coming up for them. They need this just as much as Port Adelaide in some respects. The Hawks at top of the ladder right now with a huge percentage. And top 2 could be vital in the end game. Home final, first up, first week. Lobe. Stolen back by McLean. Clever kick. Parker to Goods. Breaks the line. Puts it to the square. Franklin allowed to play on. Goal.
Well, we'll go back and have a look at that one when we get a chance. But it was brilliant work in tight by the Sydney midfield. Let's have a look here. Where's his hands? Right at the back.
It's a free kick. Every day, that's a free kick. So a little unlucky. He's gave him a decent old stuff, didn't he? I reckon if you can lip read, it was "you're kidding" from Ken Hinkley. He couldn't believe the decision either.
Geez, you love those decisions when you're a forward, don't you, Jace? You know you just got away with one there.
Correct, mate.
Crowd's gone mad.
Moore with the clearing kick. Ball back to half forward. Swans back in front. McLean breaks free. Standing under it, O'Shea, and that's a free.
Spoke before about Adam Goods not losing his speed, Dwayne. He was brilliant in that in tight there to get the ball down to Buddy.
It is hard to believe he's 34 years of age.
Not fair.
And he will play on next year, and he could be bound for 400 games the way he's going. Short to Ebert. Pollock gives and goes again, hoping to get it back. Chase down Might still get it back. He doesn't. Ebert ignores him.
Got nowhere to go.
No long option, though. That's the problem.
Trengove leads up. Need the crummer. Forced to spoil in the end. Lays a tackle on Pike. Got it to Rowan. Bird. McVeigh. Oh, Jetta on his own.
He should take
him on.
Franklin working hard in space. Oh, Hobbs! Beat him hands down. Port Adelaide away. Carlisle runs on. Got it from Jonas. Thought about playing on quickly. Thinks better of it.
Hobbs is playing the game of his life at the moment.
Mitchell.
He's going to keep using the ball well. He's got Lobie short.
Yeah.
Heads to the pocket, to the Schultz pocket. He got there. He does like those leads to the pocket.
He's capable of kicking this too, Jay Schultz. The pockets aren't real deep here at Adelaide Oval. You get a fair opening to shoot for.
I think someone like Jay Schultz, you're prepared to back him with any set shot anywhere in the 50 arc, regardless of the angle.
Just one goal last week against Collingwood. He's averaging just 2 goals a game the past 5 games, Jay Schultz. Still a contender for the Coleman. 53-15 this year.
Ooh.
And not up to his accurate best there.
Still a contender. Is he still leading?
Jared Ruffhead has taken the lead today.
Has he?
A couple. Yeah.
Just stabbed at that one, Jay Schultz. Maybe just wasn't sure about what it would do in the air, where there was a little bit of breeze affecting it.
McVeigh long to Reid. O'Shea looked for contact. Almost gave away a free. Reid palms it down. Montfrey's got there to Broadbent. To Boak. Handball smothered. Robbie Gray got his arms full. Broadbent. O'Shea. They're taking it on.
They're on here.
So more to Lobie. He can go open side. Hartlett. This is his forte. The get, run and launch. Will he take on Pike? The big man. He takes him on. Runs to 51. Loads up long. Schultz got it.
Well, it's good to see a player take him on and back him on. He had the ruckman in Big Mike Pike in front of him. Got a massive leg on him as well, Hamish, but it's going to take a good kick, but he could do this, Schultz.
And here's this bizarre 5-metre rule.
Yep.
Make your own mind up at home.
I'm not prepared to say that's 5 metres.
Interesting to see if just dummy to go forward and don't actually take the step, whether they pay the 50 for the players coming at you. Carlisle.
Well, the other thing I think is you telegraph it when you stand side on like that. If you go back for your normal drop punt run up, you can then arc out whenever you like. And it makes it harder for the players on the side to pick when you're going to do it and where you're going to do it.
The trouble is your training routine is with that side step, isn't it?
I don't think it needs to be. I understand why they might have brought it in, but now players stand there like that. You're telegraphing exactly when and where you're going to go.
Kennedy, the other thing is it's 5 metres from the man. When the man's outside the boundary, normally they make it 5 metres from the boundary line as Franklin goes hard, but not when it's a kick at goal. Need lays a tackle on Bird. Almost had him holding the ball. O'Shea hard, everyone hard. Jack, Reid, Cunningham, Broadbent. They want to go open side. They want to take it on. Mitchell's out there. He's a hair. And he takes off. Parker comes at him. Overcooked the handball to Moore. Cunningham. Shaw. Rampy. Oh, umpire paid the mark.
Got to be better than that, Kane Mitchell. He's got the leg speed, he's got the run, and that's what he's back in for, but his skills can let him down, and against good sides, they can cost you goals.
Hanbury says, let's calm it down. He's puffing. Probably hasn't got his game fitness back yet. Back in this week after a long rest. Through hands. McGlynn. McVeigh, nice bounce pass. Dances around a couple, gives to Franklin.
They're not going to like him now after getting that goal on Homsch before.
And the other thing is, he's going to win some contests, you know that. I mean, Homsch can't be expected to be superhuman. He's been exposed one-on-one a number of times, done particularly well. Franklin's a quality player. He's going to win his share, and he's going to have shots at goal. You've got to accept that.
They're friendly boos. They're pantomime villain boos. Here comes the big bad wolf kind of boos.
Nice.
And that is delightful. As good as it gets from the best in the business.
He's a star, buddy. Whether you're booing him or not, you still love to watch him play. Let's have a look here. Benny McGlynn. Vay.
Beautiful kick, isn't it?
Perfect kick. Jack Holmes can't do anything about that at all.
Well, Roughhead and Bruce played today, and Schultz, Franklin, Hawkins are all playing tonight. So it is a great race, isn't it?
There's a number of players underneath that aren't far away either.
From the restart. Wines, half a drop kick. Franklin, brilliant. Jack, Malcheski, they're up and flying now, the Swans. Jetta. That wasn't good. Homsch, great. Corns, no one there. It'll be coming back. Oh, it bounced unkindly. Need got there. High. He's had an impact. Just his second game of the year. Had an awesome 2013. Hasn't been able to match it yet. Broadbent, O'Shea the 1-2. Jonas. Robbie Gray runs for him. He puts it in front. Getting back Grundy. Cleverly took it to the line.
I reckon he'd had a couple of efforts prior to that, Robbie Gray. You can see him there. He just didn't quite have the zip in the legs, and the kick wasn't particularly good either. But normally, you think he would run onto that and take it away.
If you have just joined us, this lead, 9 points, the biggest lead of the game to either team. Both teams have shared the lead so far in this contest. Wines. Gray. Moore. Trengove caught. Finally got it out somehow. Boak. Gray. Polek.
Good kick.
And Broadbent can go. Got a couple of runners in front of him. Gets around the men in pink. Monfries. Schultz got the crumb. Taken over the line.
What a kick by Polek. He's a smooth mover. Great skills. Just couldn't quite get that next kick to Monfries right.
Not sure it's the right option either to a one-on-one really wide on the boundary. Better off keeping it in the corridor.
Pull down a need. Lobe somehow gave it to Corns. Punch from Malcheski gets it down. McVeigh, Ted Richards again. They're under pressure, trying to move it out of the fence. Parker, great attack.
Oh, look at
and
this.
Kennedy on the overlap. Franklin's in a one-on-one. Out in front of Lance. Got it. Within range.
You've got to wonder how Josh Kennedy can stand in that much space.
Well, we identified at quarter time that Kennedy had 10 and even had 9. You don't have 19 between you if you're living in each other's back pockets.
This is for 3 for the quarter for Lance Franklin.
15 gone.
Up there with some of the greats now.
Starting to strike him well now too.
Plays his 200th next week. He cranks that goalwood. No.
Might have to look at a change of boots at half-time, Rue. I think it is getting very dewy down here in Slippery. We're seeing a lot of players in one-on-ones to slip home. We saw Homsen really cost himself that contest with Buddy.
Holek gets it from Broadbent. Great.
Got a lot of rain too in Adelaide. So rain and a bit of dew.
West off and 3 deep. Good play.
Good hands. He's got one clean grab.
And Monfries runs hard breaking.
Yep.
Puts it in front. Monfries could get and go. No, he can't. It's too wide. Malcheski's ball.
The right idea. Just the execution let them down.
Cord to play on. Back to Westhoff. Can't take this one. Fantastic contest. Reed comes out to Wingard. To Travis Boak. To Wines. The bounce pass to Wines is the thing that messed it up. Turnover, McVeigh, Rampy. He has some space. Heads wide, Need, Rowan. Good attack from both players. Rowan's away, heads long, Franklin's on the march. Getting in front again, Hopsch. Feeds a handball back to Broadbent. Gray, amazing contest this. Gray gets it back in the 1-2. Floats it on Hartlett. Cunningham the fist. Ebert the crumb. Trengove. The push off on McGlynn. Might have got him a little high. Heads wide the Need. Fantastic spoil, McVeigh.
Gee, they can put pressure on, can't they, Sydney? I think they'll be as good as anyone in the comp for the amount of pressure they put on the opposition players.
They've won 13 of their past 14, the Sydney Swans. Began the season with 2 losses. People were saying crazy things like, what did they get Franklin for?
Well, Roo, Kennedy and Ebert have both had 13 possessions. Who's having the greater impact?
Thank you, Matt.
Kennedy's kicking
Probably
at
Kennedy.
80%, Ebert at 29.
Gray, it's a wide ball. Swans had the numerical advantage there, 3-on-2.
Jace, you just look through all those midfield numbers at the minute, and a lot of players are getting a lot of the ball.
Yep.
I'm not sure if either coaches would be too happy with virtually playing Russian roulette with each other at the moment.
Swans have kicked the last 3 goals of this game. Bird, Malcheski in full flight. To Franklin in full flight. Bouncing ball, Hopsch, thump away, Polek. Little slip, there's the Jew. Cunningham to make them pay. Parker, Jenner. Had a look around, thought twice. Carlisle last line of defence, Jonas. And Jenner's okay, he's up, he's bounced up. Game number 50 for Tom Jonas tonight. To Lobie. Wingard couldn't quite make something of it. Tunneled out. Tringo tried that push off again. Goods, little flick, Mitchell. Both players went hard and low. Okay.
That's a strange one because Mitchell had the ball and
he
Bird actually slid underneath him head first.
And took Mitchell's legs.
Yeah.
I thought the other rule was in.
Has that sliding rule just left the game in the last 10 weeks?
Well, I think players are doing it less. I think it's actually achieved what it was brought in to do, but then we see an incident like that. Not sure the decision's the right one.
Well, he is an ex-player, of course, Lee Fisher. Maybe still umpiring under the old rule that he played under. Jenner strikes out a little skinny as well, behind. Yeah, well, he took Mitchell's legs out.
He's got the ball, Kane Mitchell, and he slides in head first, Craig Bird, and gets the free kick.
Tough one, isn't it?
Broadbent. Richards about to fly at this. Wines front spot. Couldn't quite complete the deal. Bar waits. Ball up on 50.
16-3, the tackles in the second quarter Sydney's way. They really do pressure the opposition.
Lobie and Pike. Hartlett got his hands free. Kept it in, Bird. Kennedy the clearing kick. Punch from Cunningham. Ball in.
Inside 50s are at 11-3 in this quarter as well. Sydney's had the ball. They've got 2 goals. Port yet to get a goal in this second quarter.
Yeah, tackles have dropped off too. Port Adelaide 17-4 in favour of Sydney. The tackles in the second quarter.
Tippett palms it down.
So we were very praising of Port's pressure in the first quarter. Sydney have taken it up a notch in the second term.
Wingard rolls it away again. Swans with a numerical advantage. Malcheski, scrambling kick. Pike. Goods. Kennedy. Tippett on the run. Carlisle with him. Pollock. Got clear. Opens up space in the middle.
But no one to kick to.
Realises that now heads wide. Monfries has to go. Laidler with him. Winds, Jack. Malcheski again on the left. Pumps it long. Tippett's coming hard. Didn't get there in time. Lobe thumps it down.
Slip.
Another slip from Moore. Turnover. Tippett pumps it goalward. Misses near side.
Yeah, I think all players will be changing their boots at half-time, boys.
Well, they're all the Port players that are slipping over. I haven't seen a lot of Sydney players slipping over.
Mitchell got there. Last 3 goals of the game from the Swans. Monfries.
They need one, Port. They need a steadier.
Yet to kick one in this term, as Jason and Mark Rasciuto told you. Boak, nice delivery. Jonas. Westhoff's in the square. Schultz is in the square. Heads to the Schultz pocket. Westhoff, Schultz, Gray. Fantastic tackle, Bird. Didn't look a legal handball. Laidler got it away. Bird again. Moore. Monfries. Squeezes it central.
Kick.
Lobe.
They desperately need this, Port. This will be against the run of play. Gets them back in the contest. It's only a 2-goal margin, but it's an arm wrestle that Sydney is slowly getting on top of.
Not a huge goal kicker. 15 goals in 61 games.
Got a good technique, though.
5 goals this year. Looks okay off the boot. That's what 50,000 sounds like.
Well, they did need that, Jason, being 14-4 inside 50s for the quarter for no goals prior to that. Port Adelaide, they now only find themselves a goal behind, so much needed goal. Well done. Good eyes here by Monfries to find the ruckman, and great effort by Matty Lobe to go back and kick it. Had a terrific start of the year, Matty Lobe. Has dropped away a bit, like a lot of his teammates, but hopefully can finish the season off strong.
Had to go solo. No Redden, no Renoff this year. And Trengove has been injured for a while. Back in tonight. Give him at least a rest or 2 from the ball up. Bird dropped it. Gray steals it. Sidestep. Superb. Heads wide. Just over Hartlett's head. Mitchell, he owes them one. Feeds it off. Moore. Didn't want to have the shot. Hartlett. Centering kick. Boak. Off hands. Wingard.
Gee. You'd expect Chad Wingard to kick that.
Hasn't been the same Chad Wingard at times this year.
Only had the 3 touches in the second quarter, Wingard. 6 for the game.
Richards. Hartlett. He is in good form. Moore. Just beyond his range.
Plenty of numbers back, Sydney filling up the hole.
Sits it up. Schultz from 15 deep. Off hands, Boak. Knee. Snap. Bounce.
Tackled high, was he?
He gets a free. Needs ball. It'll come back.
Well, the umpire from the middle of the ground called that one as well, and I like it when they do that. I think that should happen more often with so many players around the ball these days in modern football. Umpires get blindsided more and more, so the umpire that can still see it should pay it. And good call here. Way too high, over the shoulder. Deserve the free.
It was only a couple of minutes ago the Sydney Swans held the biggest lead of the game. This is for 2 Port goals in 2 minutes. And he misses
3-7 for Port, boys.
They've had their chances.
More scoring shots than Sydney.
90 seconds left. Shaw to Parker.
Must have come off the bench. You couldn't believe they just leave him out there on his own, Luke Parker.
Rowan. Good hands in the end.
Move it on, please. Play on. No 15.
Not 15. Richards back to Rowan. It works. Goods got there. Last roll of the dice here for the Swans. Kick smothered from Goods. Still rolls to Tippett. Breaks away. Handball. McGlynn.
Touched.
John Longmire mops his brow. He knows how big this is as well. Top two can be huge come the end of the season. Swans came into this round second.
Gee, how's that not 15?
There's a few snapping at their heels. Turnover almost. Bird. Parker. Gang tackle. Four get him high.
And again, that's came from the umpire, who was in the middle of the ground, not the umpire in control.
Is he within range?
And Franklin is lurking, and Homsch is right with him. That's clever.
Down to 20 seconds. To the square. Reed. Tippett.
Oh.
Trutch. Pike took a few out with him. Cunningham kick smothered. Rodeo riding. High on McGlynn. On the siren.
I reckon he slipped, McGlynn, didn't he?
Yeah, there's a big difference between the duck and the slip. You just have to be able to fake the slip with sincerity and you're laughing. McGlynn.
Yeah, that's poor. And he knows that Trengove, as soon as he got him, really coat hung him.
Yep.
For an 11-point margin at the main change. To silence. The best team in the competition right now, the Sydney Swans, won 13 of their past 14 at full strength tonight, and they lead at half-time by 11.